The wedding happened at sunset when the sky turned the color of blood and gold. Thomas Wright stood in the middle of the Cheyenne camp holding the hand of a woman who towered over every person he'd ever known. Her name was Tall Grass, and she stood 6 feet and 7 inches in her bare feet, a giant among her own people and a legend among the whites, who heard whispers of the warrior woman who could outrun horses and break a man's neck. With her bare hands, Thomas was 5'9" and weighed maybe 160 pounds, soaking wet. When he looked up at his bride, he saw eyes that held more sky than fear, and a smile that suggested she found the whole situation as strange as he did. The ceremony ended with drums and firelight. But Thomas's mind was racing ahead to dawn, to the moment when everything he'd built would either hold or crumble, because Tall Grass had 4 brothers, and they were coming at sunrise. They were coming to test whether the white trader who'd stolen their sister's heart was worthy of keeping it. He'd been warned they would come to kill him, not out of hatred, but out of tradition. And if you think that sounds impossible, stick with me, because what happened at dawn wasn't what anyone expected. Thomas had arrived in Cheyenne territory 6 months earlier with a wagon full of trade goods and a reputation for being fair. He didn't cheat on weights, and he didn't water down his whiskey. Most importantly, he didn't treat the Cheyenne like they were stupid or savage. He learned their language slowly, traded honestly, and kept his word. Tall Grass had noticed him on his 3rd visit. She'd been training warriors when Thomas arrived with his wagon. She watched him negotiate with the elders, noting how he looked people in the eye and didn't flinch. Their first conversation happened by the river. Thomas found Tall Grass practicing with a lance, throwing it at a target 40 yards away and hitting center every time. "You stay là for a trader," she said. "Sorry," Thomas replied. "I've just never seen anyone throw like that." "I have," she said. "Want to see me do it to a white man?" "Would it be rude if I said no?" "It would be smart." They talked for hours that day. Then, every time Thomas came to trade, he and Tall Grass would find reasons to be near each other. The tribe noticed. The elders watched with interest. The warriors watched with suspicion, and Tall Grass's 4 brothers, Running Bear, Stoned Fist, Black Wolf, and Kills Many, watched with growing alarm. Their sister was the best fighter in the tribe. She'd refused from marriage proposals from strong warriors, and now she was spending time with a skinny white trader. When Thomas asked her father for permission to court her, the old chief laughed so hard he nearly fell off his seat. "You know her brothers will test you," the chief said. "If you marry her, they will come at dawn. They will try to break you or kill you. If you survive, you are worthy." Thomas thought about it for exactly 5 seconds. "I accept." The next 3 months were strange. Thomas continued trading but spent every spare moment with Tall Grass learning to track, to hunt, to survive. The proposal happened under stars so bright they looked like holes punched in the sky. Thomas gave her a necklace of turquoise and silver. "I know this is crazy," he said, "but I love you." "My brothers will test you at dawn," she said. "They will try to kill you. I know. If you run, I will never forgive you." Thomas smiled, despite his fear. "Then we will marry." The wedding celebration lasted until midnight. As the night ended, the chief pulled Thomas aside. "My sons will come at dawn with 4 tests. You must face all 4. What happens if I fail?" "Then you are not worthy, and you will leave," the chief said. "If you survive." Thomas spent his wedding night staring at the ceiling, trying not to think about dawn. Finally, Tall Grass spoke into the darkness. "You do not have to beat them. You just have to prove you are worthy." "What's the difference?" "Sometimes wisdom is knowing when to stand and when to bend." Thomas stepped outside. As the sun broke over the horizon, the entire tribe was gathered in a circle. In the center stood four men, each holding different weapons. Running Bear stepped forward, massive and scarred, holding a war club. My test is combat. If you can stay standing for 15 minutes, you'll pass. Thomas spread his hands. I'm ready. The fight started badly. Running Bear came at him like a mountain, the war club whistling through the air. Thomas dodged by pure instinct, throwing himself sideways and rolling away. He couldn't trade blows with this man. All he could do was survive. So he ran, circling, staying light on his feet, using every bit of speed he had. Running Bear pursued him, swinging again and again. The crowd watched the white man run like a rabbit fleeing a wolf. It didn't look brave, but Thomas had learned something from tall grass. Sometimes surviving was its own kind of victory. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Running Bear was breathing hard now, sweat pouring down his face. At 12 minutes, he overcommitted on a swing and spun off balance. Thomas could have attacked, but he didn't. He just stepped back and waited. Why you not attack? Running Bear asked. Because I'm not trying to beat you, Thomas said. I'm just trying to prove I won't quit. Running Bear lowered his war club. Time, 14 minutes. Close enough. If you're still with me, hit that subscribe button, because what comes next will surprise you. Stonefist stepped forward next, shorter but more intimidating. My test is endurance. You will hold this position. He demonstrated a low squat with arms extended. You will hold until I say stop. Thomas got into a position after 30 seconds. It was painful. After 3 minutes, his whole body was screaming at him to stop. But he thought about tall grass and held on. 6 minutes. 7 minutes. Stonefist was circling, trying to intimidate him. You are weak. You cannot protect her. Thomas's vision was blurring. His arms were dropping despite his best efforts. Then he heard Tall Grass's voice. He is my husband. He is strong enough. You tested him enough. Brother, call it. Stonefist looked at Thomas, still holding the position despite agony. Stand up, white man. You pass. Thomas collapsed immediately. 2 down, 2, go. Black Wolf helped him to his feet. You are tougher than you look. But you must also be clever. He gestured 2 items at the circle's edge. A bow, knife, rope, water skin, and a small pouch. You will take 3 items. You will survive 1 full day and night alone. You will return with proof you can provide for my sister. Thomas studied the items carefully. Most men would take the bow, knife, and water. But Thomas picked the knife, rope, and the small pouch. No bow? No water. Black Wolf said. I'll find water, Thomas replied. Then go. Prove yourself. Thomas headed into the hills, found a stream, built a fish trap with the rope. Hay-caught fish started a fire with the materials in the pouch, but the fish weren't his proof. As the sun set, he gathered sacred plants, sage, sweetgrass, tobacco. When dawn came, he returned. Black Wolf frowned at the bundle of plants. Plants you were supposed to hunt. I did provide, Thomas said, but not the way you expected. These plants are sacred to your people. I gathered them as a blessing for my marriage. Hunting is easy, but understanding what your sister values, that takes wisdom. Black Wolf started laughing. You turned a survival test into a ceremony. You taught him too well, he said to Tall Grass. You passed, white man. That left 1 brother kills many. The youngest brother stepped forward and everyone went quiet. This was the brother everyone feared. you will fight me hand to hand. If you can make me respect you, you pass." They faced each other. When the chief dropped his hand, Kilsmeny exploded forward. The first punch caught Thomas in the ribs. The second split his lip. Blood filled his mouth. Kilsmeny was on him immediately, raining down brutal punches. A punch closed Thomas's left eye. This was how it ended. But then Thomas heard tall Grass's voice. "Stand up, husband." Something broke loose inside Thomas. Stubbornness. He stopped trying to protect himself and grabbed Kilsmeny's arms. They crashed to the ground together, grappling in the dirt. Thomas had no technique, but he had desperation and something to fight for. He held on like a drowning man. 2 minutes passed. Then 5. Both men were exhausted, covered in dirt and blood. Kilsmeny got on top, hands around Thomas's throat. Thomas's vision went dark. With his last strength, Thomas did something unexpected. He stopped fighting entirely. He went limp and looked up at Kilsmeny with eyes that said, "Do what you have to do." It was acceptance. Kilsmeny released his throat and sat back. "Why you stop fighting?" "Because I can't beat you." Thomas gasped. "You're better than me." "Then why you not quit before?" "Because quitting and losing aren't the same thing. I can lose this fight and still not quit on your sister. Being worthy isn't about being the strongest. It's about refusing to give up on the people you love." Kilsmeny studied Thomas's bloody face. Then he smiled. "You cannot beat me in combat, but you also cannot be broken. That is more important." He pulled Thomas to his feet. "You pass, white man, not because you fought well, but because you fought with heart. My sister chose better than I thought." The crowd erupted in cheers. The 4 brothers gathered around Thomas. "You survived all 4 tests. That has never happened before. Welcome to our family, brother." Tall Grass pushed through the crowd and kissed him. The chief raised his hands. "The tests are complete. Thomas Wright has proven himself worthy through endurance, wisdom, courage, and heart. He is accepted as husband to Tall Grass and as member of our tribe." That night, there was another feast. The brothers told stories about Tall Grass, making sure Thomas understood exactly who he'd married. "You understand now?" Runny Bear asked. "Why we test you so hard?" "You wanted to make sure I could stand beside her," Thomas said, "not try to diminish her to make myself feel bigger." "Exactly. Our sister is exceptional. She needs a man who sees that and celebrates it." Later, Tall Grass and Thomas walked under the stars. "I am sorry about my brothers," she said. "No, you're not," Thomas replied. She smiled. "I also knew you would survive. I have never regretted anything less," she said. "You are exactly what I needed. Someone who sees me as human first. Someone who makes me laugh." That became Thomas's life among the Cheyenne. The tribe accepted him genuinely. He learned their language, customs, how to hunt and fight. The brothers became his friends, though they never stopped testing him in small ways. Thomas became valuable to the tribe, sitting in council meetings, helping settle disputes, becoming a bridge between 2 worlds. His marriage to Tall Grass deepened into something neither expected. They had 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, all tall like their mother, stubborn like their father. They grew up belonging to both worlds, proof that different peoples could come together. Years passed. Thomas's hair went gray. The brothers grew old but remained formidable. The world was changing. More settlers were coming west. Thomas used his position to broker peace when he could. On a night many years later, Thomas sat with the 4 brothers around a fire. "Brother," Runny Bear said, "do you remember when we tried to kill you?" Thomas laughed. Which time? That first dawn. Did you really think you would survive? Honestly, no. Then why did you try? Because tall grass was worth dying for, and because trying matters. That is what we learned that day. Kills many said that you would not quit. That is why you passed. They drank together as the fire burned down. If you've stayed with this story to the end, thank you. Stories like this remind us that courage comes in many forms. If you enjoyed this tale, subscribe for more legends from the frontier. Thomas Wright lived to be 70. He died surrounded by family, with tall grass holding his hand. The brothers who remained came to honor him. They buried him on a hill overlooking the plains, with Cheyenne rituals and Christian prayers mixed together, because he belonged to both worlds and neither fully. Tall Grass lived another 10 years. She never remarried. When people asked why, she said she'd already had the best husband possible. Once she died, they buried her beside him. Two people from different worlds who'd found each other against all odds. Their descendants still carry the legacy of a traitor and a giant who refused to let the world tell them their love was impossible. Sometimes old people still tell the story of the dawn when 4 brothers tried to kill their sister as husband and discovered that family doesn't require matching blood, it just requires people willing to fight for each other, even when fighting seems impossible. That's how Thomas Wright married the giant of the plains and survived, not because he was the strongest or bravest, but because he refused to quit on the people he loved. And sometimes, that's the only kind of strength that really matters.